Ever feel like you're sending emails into a black hole? You hit send and crickets. It's a super common, super frustrating problem. But today, we're going to fix that. We're going to turn those ignored messages into powerful tools that actually get read and, more importantly, get a response. So why is that happening? It's a question we've all asked ourselves. You spend time writing a message, you think it's perfectly clear, but it just fizzles out. The honest truth? In a world of overflowing inboxes, just getting someone's attention is a huge challenge. And the stakes here are way higher than you might think. This isn't just about feeling a little annoyed that you didn't get a reply. A careless email can have real-world consequences, from lost productivity and money all the way to lawsuits. So yeah, getting this right really, really matters. All right, first up, let's really define the problem we're all up against. Let's call it the unread email problem. It feels like a universal struggle, but here's the good news. It's one we can absolutely solve. Think about your own inbox for a second. How quickly do you decide if an email is worth your time? It's probably a fraction of a second, right? If you don't nail the key parts of your email, it's probably getting deleted without a single click. It's really that simple. So, what's the fix? Well, it's all about understanding the anatomy of a great email. So let's break down the essential components of a message that doesn't just get delivered, it gets read. Every single effective email has a really clear flow, and it comes down to 4 crucial parts. First, you got the subject line. That's your big first impression. If they open it, you need a hook in that first sentence to grab them. Then, the body has to deliver your message clearly and concisely. And finally, the close needs a clear call to action, so they know exactly what you want them to do next. Just look at the night and day difference here. A subject like meeting is so vague, it's basically begging to be ignored. But question about Q3 report deadline, that's specific, it's actionable. Update is forgettable, but sale ends today creates urgency. Your subject line is the headline for your message. You have to make it count. So after the subject line, you hit the next critical hurdle, that opening sentence. And this quote nails it. A lot of the time, it's the only other thing someone reads. You've got to use that first line to immediately signal why reading the rest of the email is worth their time. Now, for the body of your email, the main principle to remember is front-loading. You have to assume people are going to scan, not read every word. So what do? You put the most important info right at the top. You keep your sentences and paragraphs short. Use bullets for lists, and once you've made your point, just stop writing. It's all about respecting their time. Okay, so we've got the structure down. Now, let's talk about the unwritten rules of the road email etiquette. This is the stuff that really separates the professionals from the amateurs. Let's start with what not to do. Writing in all caps? It just feels like you're shouting. Venting in an email is a terrible idea. It creates a permanent record of your anger. Those vague one-word replies like, okay, can come across as pretty rude. And please, just don't forward chain messages. Finally, and this one is so important, never ever assume your email is private. On the flip side, here are the habits that build trust and make you look like a pro. Always, and I mean always, proofread your message. Identify yourself clearly so they know who they're talking to. A prompt reply shows your respect, and make sure you're using the right tone for your audience. Oh, and be considerate. Ask before you send a massive file that's going to clog up their inbox. All right, enough theory. Let's put all of this into practice. We're going to look at a common high-stakes scenario where, believe me, every single word counts. So, let's imagine this. You bought something, and it's broken. You're frustrated, you're annoyed, and you have to write an email to get it sorted out. The question is, how do you do that without letting your anger get in the way and completely sabotage your goal? Here's the key. The goal of a complaint email is not to vent, it's to get a resolution. And that requires a really careful balance. You have to be firm but not rude, assertive but not offensive. Keeping a courteous and polite tone is, without a doubt, the fastest way to get the result you actually want. So, a complaint email that actually works does all of these things. It starts with a super specific subject, something like complaint, faulty TV, order number 12345. Then it clearly explains the problem and what you want, a replacement, a refund, whatever. It stays courteous, but firm, includes proof of purchase, and sets a reasonable deadline. See? It's assertive, not aggressive. We have covered a lot of ground here, from subject lines to etiquette, but if you forget everything else, I really want you to walk away with this one single powerful rule. This is it. Every single piece of advice we've talked about today comes back to this one simple idea. Is your subject line respecting the reader's time? Is your concise, front-loaded message respecting their attention? Is your polite tone respecting them as a person? If you make this the foundation of every email you write, I promise you are going to see a huge improvement in your results.
So think about it for a second. What's one email habit you're going to change starting today? Are you going to start writing more specific subject lines? Or maybe you'll finally commit to proofreading every single message before you hit send. Just making one small change can be the start of you finally mastering your inbox.